So the current peace talks or peace efforts that we see, there are several things. There are different, I would say, initiatives. We do have a multiplication of peace facilitations done through. So we've seen Doha coming forward to offer to facilitate and mediate between both Rwanda and Congo, but also between M23 and Congo and DRC government. Then there is also the United States. There are efforts also at the EAC SEDEC level. It is, so like I was saying, there are different elements that are being discussed. So we have, first of all, we have a peacekeeping mission, MONUSCO there. MONUSCO has been not working as a peace organization for a while because of several reasons, but the principal reason is that for MONUSCO to be able to continue operating in DRC, the only way is to be able to collaborate with the DRC government. So they have accepted more or less everything that DRC has decided to do in this conflict, including integrating FDLR. So we're dealing with the coalition. The DRC government coalition has integrated FDLR, but also has integrated all those armed groups that were part of this so-called Nairobi process. Armed groups that have warlords that are wanted or sanctioned internationally. So this is what we ended up calling the Wazalendo. So several armed groups, including Nyatura, FDLR, were integrated and fight along the DRC army. In addition to that, so MONUSCO is supporting them with operations, but also supplying equipment, training. And then we have about 2,000 mercenaries, European mercenaries, that have also joined, which in itself, of course, is extremely problematic. Now, to come back to the question of narrative, of course, they don't call them mercenaries. They call them instructors because the UN has forbidden the use of mercenaries. So that's MONUSCO. MONUSCO has been actively taking part in the conflict. It has lost its impartiality as a neutral, as a supposedly neutral organization. So MONUSCO has not been participating in any peace agreements or peace talks. We had EAC, like I was saying, in 2023, that has attempted to mediate or at least to monitor a ceasefire, and that led to, like we discussed earlier, EAC was pushed out, and M23 had to come back because people were attacked. And then once EAC was pushed out, DRC government requested semi-DRC to join. But in this case, semi-DRC did not come as a peacekeeping mission or operation. They came to join the DRC government coalition to fight against M23. So we ended up having this coalition of MONUSCO, DRC government, FDLR, Wazalendo, mercenaries, and semi-DRC, all together against M23, even during the takeover of Goma. So now, fast forward several months later, we have an attempt at reviving the Luanda and Nairobi peace processes. Luanda is a peace process that is leading, or that is a peace, I would say, initiative that is intended to decrease tensions between Rwanda and DRC. So M23 is not part of that peace initiative. M23 is originally part of Nairobi, but like I was saying earlier, they were excluded. Therefore, they're not part of Nairobi anymore. M23 has been asking for direct dialogue with Kinshasa for the past 4 years, and like I was saying earlier, they were already in a peace process for 14 months before the war started again. So today, now we have these different initiatives. In Doha, there are informal conversations between M23 and DRC. However, the DRC government is not officially stating that they are in dialogue with M23. One of the reasons being that the DRC government has voted a parliamentary decree that rejects any initiative of dialogue with M23. So for DRC to be able to officially state that they are in dialogue with M23, they would have to repeal that decree or change it. So there is almost, I would say, in my view, a lack of will here to go towards any form of peace process, given that it's not even officially known that there is one. The question is, what will come out of there? I know that M23 have their own demands, and so far there has been no ceasefire signed. M23 has requested a ceasefire signed directly with DRC, but DRC has rejected that request. Therefore, when we talk about peace, the problem is not really between Rwanda and DRC. The problem is with M23. DRC tends to, whether it's in the conversations with the United States or in the media, particularly through the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Thérèse Kayikwamba, they are consistently saying that M23 and Rwanda are the same, that M23 is a proxy of Rwanda, but my work on the field, on the ground, has shown otherwise. Rwanda does have defense measures at the border. This border is extremely risky in terms of security for Rwanda because it's extremely large. These are areas that are accessible more or less easily, and the distances are extremely close between Goma and Gisenyi. For example, we've seen in January attacks from Goma into Rwanda, and therefore, and this has been at least a 20th attack since Tshisekedi came to power. So there is a real concern for security of Rwanda, and so these defensive measures are, in my view, completely valid and legitimate. However, when we go more into DRC, definitely this is M23 that is operating there. And again, I know M23 has been said to be a Tutsi-led movement, which is not true. Originally, M23 defends targeted communities, particularly the Tutsi. Some of the members are Congolese Tutsi, but today it is completely diverse. It's an inclusive movement, and there are fighters, M23 fighters, and members from around the country, including from Tshisekedi's tribe. Actually, Lawrence Kanyuka is from Tshisekedi's tribe or ethnic background. So this, again, to come back, M23 needs to be in dialogue with the DRC government if we want to really think about how we can solve this conflict. It's good to have diplomatic conversations and dialogue between Rwanda and DRC. These are neighbors that need to collaborate, because development in one country helps development in another. Security is extremely important. But the big issue is that DRC government continues to reject the existence of M23 and their political grievances. And therefore, until that step is actually being done, we won't get anywhere. And one final thing that is really impairing any possibility for peace to succeed is the FDLR problem. Yeah, FDLR has been integrated into the army. So M23 is also fighting against FDLR, and they're trying to demobilize and disarm FDLR. But FDLR have been integrated with FRDC, so FRDC themselves are protecting them. And it is sometimes even difficult to know who is FDLR, who is FRDC on the ground until you actually get to them and then you screen them. And also in several positions that were placed outside of Goma. If you remember, there was a recent attack from the Sake location into Goma. That is a position that was put in place. So FDLR is a problem. Demobilizing, disarming FDLR is one issue because we need to find them. But then the next big problem is genocide ideology. So not everybody is wearing a weapon or a gun and shooting and committing violence. Some people are promoting this genocide ideology in other forms. Of course, there are lynchings and acts of cannibalisms, but there's also ethnic cleansing as a whole, pushing people out of their land, occupying the area. FDLR has settled in this region for 30 years. And while M23, there are Congolese that are being called foreigners, outsiders that need to go back to Rwanda, which is not their home, FDLR, whose home is Rwanda, are being integrated into Congo and included completely, even assimilated to the Congolese life. So we've seen the return of the refugees now, which is again another controversy because we want M23 again to go out, or Congolese Tutsi to go out, but we don't want Rwandans to go back home. So this whole contradiction is what is impairing our ability to achieve peace.